Yeah, the Sky are the worst franchise in the WNBA. It's not even funny how bad this trade is. Like, these trades are. Like, it is essentially Jeff Pagliocca saying, I basically it's him doubling and tripling down in bad decisions. It's like, when a franchise refuses to move on from a player at their highest point because they're like, no, I still believe in that player and I don't want to let anyone else take that player. So and that player kill it there. It seems like that's the case with him and Haley Van Lith. Because everybody knows Atkins, Reese, Cardoso are going to be kept. Sivka probably going to be kept in the expansion draft. It comes down to realistically, what's it? Haley Van Lith. And is Haley Van Lith worth? It comes out realistically. Is Haley Van Lith worth not dropping 4 spots in the second round and the 26th pick? My opinion, no. No. Like, at the 26th pick, I did my mock draft and I predicted Ashlon Jackson to go there. And Ashlon Jackson is, in my opinion, at least the idea of Ashlon Jackson is better than what we know of Haley Van Lith. And it seems like Chicago Sky are like basically just adamant on bringing back HVL. And that's the thing where it's like, I don't think HVL is going to improve. And if HVL does kill it somewhere else, so be it. So be it. Like, make your pick with a second round pick. Take who you take. You've got them on a better contract anyway. And like, they're still going to be on a rookie minimum. But at the same time, like, HVL is not even on a rookie minimum. She's going to cost more. She was the 10th or 11th pick. Yeah, I think they picked Van Lith before Sivka. Like, bringing in Aisha Sivka is not going to instantly make the Sky a good team. It's just not. So, like, what other players are they bringing in? Clearly, they want to core Ariel Atkins. Like, if they're protecting her, the implication is you're going to core her. So, they're probably going to core Ariel Atkins. You're probably going to then, obviously, I don't even know if they keep Angel Reese. Like, they're running it. They were last place last year. And I understand they were technically second last in the standings. Okay, on a technicality that they had the head-to-head over, they won the head-to-head over Dallas. So on a technicality, they weren't last. But they won 10 games. They went 10-34 last year. The Chicago Sky are running it back with a team that went 10-34 without their draft pick. They don't have their draft pick. It's as simple as that. They don't have their pick. If they had their pick, okay, yeah, maybe we're talking about this differently. If they were running it back and they're like, look, we're high on Haley Van Lith and like we're happy, we actually think we're better than we showed last season. But like, based on what? They beat the Lynx when in a game where, in fairness, Angel and Camilla were unbelievable. And they beat the Liberty last year in a game where the Liberty just, I don't know what the Liberty did in that game. They beat the Sparks a few times, I guess. Like, in fairness to the Sky, they did okay against some of the bad teams. Like, did they lose to the... Am I right in saying they lost to the Sun? Tyler Marsh got himself chucked. I could be wrong with that. But, like, I can't really remember the Sky's games last year, other than the Minnesota Lynx one. And remember their wins. I remember some of their L's. I remember they had a really, really bad loss against the Mercury at one stage. They lost to the Mercury when they were up like 17 points. And the Mercury decided, basically, I thought they were throwing the game. They put 4 undrafted rookies and Kit Laxa, who was a 29-year-old rookie, on the floor at the same time. And I'm like, they're throwing this game. And suddenly that team brought it back. But like, they are running it back with a terrible team and they don't have their own pick. Are they ironically, are they tanking for Sarah Strong? Like, that has to be it. But then, if you're going to do that, there's no point coring Ariel Atkins. There's actually not. There's no point coring Ariel Atkins if you're tanking for Sarah Strong because you're trying to stink. Like, there's actually no point to this. So, the Chicago Sky they're just terrible. They can't even tank properly. I still cannot believe Like, obviously, look, hindsight being 2020 with the Ariel Atkins trade, I liked it at the time. My logic was, is Sonia Citron ever going to be as good as the current version of Ariel Atkins at the time? And it turned out that Sonia Citron is better than Ariel Atkins. Not by much. I think they're like very equivalent level players. Citron's just much younger, and she's on a bargain rookie deal, and they gave a pick swap. They gave up a pick swap. Like, oh, it was just one of those things where I just remember thinking, and I'm like, what is actually happening here? Like, how badly have they messed up this trade? And because they messed up the trade, and everyone said it, because they messed up and they don't want to, admit defeat, they're going to keep Ariel Atkins no matter what. Like, Ariel Atkins is probably going to be in this team till the end of time. Why is she going to be in the team till the end of time? Because Jeff Pagliocca's refusal to admit mistakes. Jeff Pagliocca absolutely has had a refuse. Like, he has refused to admit so many mistakes since he has taken over, and he will double and triple down on bad decisions. And I think Hailey Van Lith is a bad. Like, there are bad decisions and bad decisions in hindsight. HVL is a bad decision in hindsight. I had her going 7 in my last mock draft. A lot of people thought HVL was going to go in and around the range that she went. It was a case purely with HVL that she's not a true point guard and she needs to go into a system where she can be a scorer. And I think she'd be perfect at an expansion team. So ironically, you've given up a pick that you could possibly use on an Ashlon Jackson. You could use on a really nice, like, bench. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, like, who could the Sky use? The Sky need dogs out there, to be honest. Like, fuck it. Like, Hannah Stokey off the bench isn't a bad pickup. Obviously, Jackson's the player they have there. If they want a flat out scorer, Shay Jeski is in there. Jeez, I will mispronounce her name. Hopefully I'll figure out. I'll stop stumbling pronouncing her name. But, like, she'll be in there. There's a chance Marta Suarez is in there. You've got Pissett from, what's her name? From Vanderbilt. There's a lot of good players in there. You're getting Aisha Sivka back. Like, we know Hailey Van Lith doesn't fit with the Chicago Sky. Like, we know that much. Everyone does. I know that. You know that. But instead of potentially getting somebody that can fit, they're going to, and I'm not calling HVL a bust, by the way. I actually don't think HVL will be a bust. But I do think if she's stuck in Chicago in a situation doesn't fit because Jeff Pagliocca is just so adamant on keeping her there so he can prove himself right. Like, the reality is that there should have been no issue losing Ariel Atkins. Why? Because they're only going to be able to keep Ariel Atkins if they give her a max, and surely you can get a better max player than Ariel Atkins. Like, surely there is a better player to give the max to than the 8th best shooting guard in the WNBA, whose defense took a step backwards last year, who was, in fairness, one of the best defensive players in the WNBA for years, but his defense took a step back in Chicago. Her scoring was similar at Washington, but this is a player who, yes, I understand, is a winner, but she wasn't. Like, she was really good at Washington. I thought the year before, especially in those Fever games, she was ridiculous every time she played against the Fever. That's why I was always so scared about the Sky. I'm like, nah, man. What Ariel Atkins does against the Fever is just a different player. But 5-0. But yeah, it's one of those things now with Atkins where I'm like, it should, like, just don't protect her. If she gets taken in the expansion draft, okay. Like, you don't have, like, it seems like Jeff Pagliocca is to be proven right, he's willing to fuck up longer term. Like, the reality is that, okay, yeah, he messed up. We know he messed up. There's not one person trying to argue that Jeff Pagliocca made the right call in bringing in Ariel Atkins in hindsight. And by the way, this is a bad trade in hindsight situation. It wasn't even like a dumb trade at the time. At the time, it was not a dumb trade. There were some people that thought the Sky got fleeced. Some people loved it for the Sky. I thought that they shouldn't have given the pick swap, but I thought the Atkins for 5 or for 3 was fair. I thought Atkins for 3 was absolutely a fair trade at the time. Because, again, who was expected to go 3 and all that other stuff. But Jeff Pagliocca is his two worst decisions he made last year. And this is assuming Sivka is as good as like she was projected to be. And by the way, Sivka didn't have the greatest season this year. I have to point that out as well. Ayesha Sivka did not have the greatest season. But again, like I don't think Jeff Pagliocca, I think every single one of Jeff Pagliocca's decisions last year is one of these bad in hindsight decisions. Like Sloot wasn't a bad decision. She just tore her ACL like 6 games into the season. Like she tore her ACL really early in the season. So that's a bad decision in hindsight. Not a bad decision to bring Sloot back. Especially because you needed a true PG for the two bigs. Bringing in Ariel Atkins was a bad decision in hindsight. They didn't have the rights to their own pick, so they were going all in. The Sky thought they were going to be a playoff team. Heck, I'm pretty sure I predicted the Sky to finish 5th last year. I had the Sky, or 6th. I had the Sky 6th in my preseason. A lot of people had the Sky in the playoffs. Beck Allen was really, really good signing. A really good player that they traded for. And a lot of people were really high on bringing in Beck Allen. And then it just didn't work out. You don't double down on hindsight. You don't double down on decisions that were bad in hindsight. You have hindsight. Like, that is dumb. Like, you can give Jeff Pagliocca passes for almost everything he did last season with the argument of, look, okay, it's bad in hindsight, but it made sense at the time. But doubling down on bad decisions when you already have the benefit of hindsight is idiotic. Like, how do you have the benefit of hindsight? Hindsight's supposed to be 20/20. Jeff, do you need to take some glasses to learn to get hindsight? Do you need my glasses, Jeff? I can give you my glasses. Like to actually be able to see hindsight. Because these bad decisions in hindsight are still bad decisions. And it becomes even worse. There's no defense. There is no defense whatsoever if you double down on them. So anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys.